This is the ROG Phone 3 and it's a beast. But first, the specs. The ROG Phone 3 sports the Snapdragon 865 Plus 5G, which runs at, listen to this, 3.1 GHz. Yep, that's over 3 GHz. Finally broke that barrier, compared to the 2.84 GHz on the 865 5G, like the regular one. The screen size remains the same, 6.59 inches, 1080p AMOLED panel, but now it goes up to 144 Hz and the response time is 1 millisecond. It's HDR10 Plus certified, it covers 113% of the DCI-P3 color space, and has a delta value that's below 1. Touch sampling rate was essentially doubled at 270 Hz, and touch latency was reduced to 25 milliseconds, which is, as far as I know, the lowest on any smartphone right now. For example, the S20 Ultra has 43 milliseconds of touch latency, and the OnePlus 8 Pro has 47. What about RAM and storage? Well, you've got a 12 gig version with 128, 256, and half a terabyte of internal storage, which is UFS 3.1. There's also another variant with 16 gigs of RAM and half a terabyte of storage. Why not 1 terabyte? Well, we asked Asus about that, and they basically told us that they just couldn't find any supplier for 1 terabyte UFS 3.1 NANDs. Even the RAM speed was improved. It's now LPDDR5. Now we've got 3 cameras on the back. A 64 megapixel IMX686 Sony sensor with an aperture of f1.8, a 13 megapixel ultra-wide sensor with 125 degrees of field of view. Aperture on this one is f2.4, and the third one is a 5 megapixel macro with an aperture of f2.0. Now you may be wondering, who is asking for a macro lens on a gaming phone, right? Well, I discovered something on the camera app, which I'll show you later. The front camera is now 24 megapixels as well, so basically we've got the full high-resolution treatment all over the ROG Phone 3. There's also an in-display fingerprint reader with face unlock, which is quite fast. Apparently, Asus is using machine learning for their fingerprint reader, so that means that maybe in the future it'll be even faster. Fortunately, we still have the gigantic and massive 6000 mAh battery, which now also supports Quick Charge 4.0 plus Power Delivery 3.0, and it charges up to 30 watts compared to the 25 watts of the ROG Phone 2. So the charger that's included in the box can be used to its fullest. You can also charge this baby up to 4510 mAh in less than an hour, exactly in 46 minutes. And if for any reason you don't like or just don't want to use quick charging, you can just do this and it'll charge up to 10 watts, which is 5 volts, 2 amps. You can even schedule charging and set the start time, end time, even have it set an end time automatically. You can even select a limit of 90 and 80% if you want to extend the battery lifespan. So what did they improve in the gaming department? First off, this. In short, this is a massive heatsink, which is not what you're seeing below the glass. It extends from here to here, and it covers the CPU plus the 5G modem. This phone also has HyperFusion, which is, well, basically nothing new as far as tech goes, but it can merge your 5G data plus your Wi-Fi connection. In addition to this, you get the Aero Active Cooler 3, which also now has this, a kickstand. Thank you, Asus. Finally. The design remains, well, apparently mainly unchanged, but you get 40% more RPM on the fan, plus it's quieter than the ROG Phone 2's version. When you pair them together, you can get up to 4 degrees Celsius lower on the surface of the phone, which, keep in mind, it's not the same as the temperature inside. As far as Asus told us, they just want to get as much heat as they can to the outside and not keep it inside. Unfortunately, yeah, we don't have the 3.5mm jack anymore, which is, sure, sad. But at least we have it over here, plus the one that came as a dongle inside the box. And yes, we did ask Asus, why? I mean, General Kenobi came to my mind. They were the chosen ones. Well, the answer was that it wasn't a matter of cost, but space instead, which might have something to do with the massive and incredible sounding speakers that the ROG Phone 3 has. They are indeed amazing. Let me show you. If you've got headphones lying around, be sure to pause the video, do it, and put them on. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. It's freaking amazing. You know what? The speakers on the ROG Phone 2 were already the best ones that you could find on any smartphone, period. And I say that considering that I love the speakers on my iPhone 11 Pro Max. These ones are so much better, not just in volume, the quality of the speakers, the spaciousness that you can feel. The stereo image is so big that you can pinpoint where sounds are really coming from. It's not just left and right. You can know that something is coming from over here or maybe behind this tree. Imagine one, if there was one right here. But that's not all, because do you remember this? AirTriggers on the ROG Phone 2? Well, now we can do this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Plus 5. Let me do that again. 5. There are many new features, but this one's called dual partition buttons. And well, basically you get 2 buttons per AirTrigger. This can be customized over here, AirTriggers, just choose tap for the single tap AirTrigger, dual partition. You can even swipe to your left or to the right in order to do different actions, and yeah, you can have this separately, for example, swipe on the left and dual partition on the right. There's also a horizontal swipe method, plus a vertical one. So now you can do, well, basically anything you want, just keep your fingers on the screen and on the triggers. And yeah, I suck at PUBG, please don't hold it against me. What if you're playing any game and you just wanna search anything on the web, like, I don't know, cheats? Do they exist on mobile games? I don't know. Or strategies? Why not? Well, now you can have a floating window, or well, basically any other app. And yes, you can choose which ones appear here and which ones do not. For example, let's add the calculator and put it over here. Go back. There we go. Here we got our calculator. There are so many new features on the camera app that you'll just have to wait until our full review. Please do keep in mind that even though I am ready to do a full review, I can't technically do it. The reason being that this is not final software, it's beta, but it just doesn't feel like one. On the launch event on the 22nd of July, which is, well, the same day that you'll be watching this video, they'll be releasing another OTA update. So once again, we'll just have to wait. However, let's open the app once again. If you get too close to a subject, notice what it says on the screen. It prompts us to either move back or to switch to the macro mode. Well, the macro lens. This camera has fixed focus and you need to keep your subject within 4 to 6 centimeters. So even though I don't really care about macro lenses on smartphones, especially not on a gaming phone, I'm pretty sure this was added because the sensor size is so big, plus the aperture f1.8 for the main 64 megapixel sensor is so open that you get chromatic aberration plus, well, soft edges when you get something close to that lens. You know, when you're trying to snap a picture of your food, for example, and it looks soft and, well, not detailed. This is why. Just go back and use your telephoto lens if you have one, or just crop in digitally. They kept the Pro or manual mode, but they've added a Pro video mode. In this place you can adjust, well, basically anything you want, plus this. We have a sound meter over here and we can choose the recording direction, which is basically a way to select the pickup pattern of the microphones by basically telling the phone to focus on voices or do a 3D surround or just focus on what's on the front of the phone or what's on the back. And you can even block noise from the wind. Keep in mind though that you can adjust this only before you start shooting. But everything else you can adjust however you like. And it's fast too. The funny thing is that we're recording at 1080p 60 with the front camera of the ROG Phone 3, but there's no way to record at 1440p or even 4K, considering that this is a 24 megapixel sensor. Maybe, I don't know, but maybe it's a limit from the chipset. I don't know. But you can record at 8K 30 FPS with EIS, electronic image stabilization on, which is, well, really not normal at all. And yeah, you've got 4K 60 and 4K 30 HDR, but 8K 30 with EIS, well done, Asus. As far as photos and video samples go, I cannot really give you my final word because, once again, this is not final software. However, this is a sunset taken with the S20 Ultra, the 11 Pro Max, and the ROG Phone 3. Let me know which one you like the best, or at least if it's even in the same league as the other two contenders. So that's it for today, but it's not it about the ROG Phone 3, because there's so much more to talk about. Please let me know down in the comments if you'd like to see, I don't know, a 25-minute video talking about every single little feature that this phone has. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to enable all notifications. You know what to do. You can also find our social media networks linked down below with probably, I don't know, the link to this phone, if it's available right after launch. That's it for now. I'm Nicolás Fishman, and I'll be seeing you in the next video.